All right, today we are solving equations. Solving equations, as long as you understand what the equal sign does and what it means, you should be okay. I'm going to just explain it just quickly and then we will move forward. Now, the equal sign, it just means is or the same. You remember in kindergarten when we first started 2 plus 2 equals 4, 1 plus 1 equals 2, you notice that they are the same thing. It means the same. So in equations, you just need to understand that you have a balance, you have a scale, and on both sides of the equation, it has to stay the same. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. All right, so we know that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Now, if I go along and let's say I want to add 7 to the left side, I have to add 7 to the right side. So whatever I do, if I want to multiply all of this by 4, I have to multiply all of this by 4. So you just need to remember that whatever you do to the left side of the equation, you have to do to the right. That's how you balance that scale. So the main goal, of course, is to get the variable by itself. And most of you guys, you hate when you see the letters in your math problems, but it's not a problem at all because you just need to do the opposite. So if you do the opposite, you should be fine. So whenever you hear your teacher say you're going to isolate the variable or get it by itself, this is all you're doing, just working in, I always say reverse or opposite. For instance, we have x plus 3 equals 12. We have our x over here. We want to get him all alone, and a 3 is being added. So if I look, I want to do the opposite of adding 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, okay? So I'm left with x, positive 3 and negative 3. They cancel, so 12 minus 3 is 9. So x is 9. Pause the video and try to solve for x here. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I'm doing the opposite of minus 3, which is plus 3. And again, you see I'm doing it to both sides of the equation. So now they cancel, and I have x equals 12 plus 3 is 15. We have just lots of practice problems more than anything. Okay, so here our variable is on the right side of the equal sign, and it doesn't matter. We're still trying to get Mr. B all by himself. And here you have a positive 18, so b plus 18. We're going to do the opposite of plus 18, and that's minus 18. This is where we tend to make small mistakes because of you have a negative 22 and a negative 18. Negative 22 minus 18, same signs, so you add and keep. So of course it's going to be negative, and 22 plus 18 is 40. Your 18's canceled over here, and b equals negative 40. All right, a little different. You all know the operation here is multiplying, okay? We're multiplying. 2 times x equals 14. Now, most of us know that 2 times 7 is 14. So I know this answer is going to be 7, but I want you guys to understand how we will solve for x. So we're going to divide both sides by 2 because division is the opposite of multiplying. So when I divide both sides by 2, x equals 14 divided by 2 is 7. Okay, don't forget, guys, this looks like a fraction bar, and it is a fraction bar, but fraction bars just mean dividing. Always remember that. Same thing here with your variable on the right side. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. The 4's cancel, so I have c equals 36 divided by negative 4 is negative 9. So c equals negative 9. Be sure to pause these videos and try to work them out on your own. That's the best way to study. All right, here, remember the last slide I showed you guys that the division, that the fraction bar is division. And so what is the opposite of division? Multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides by 7. And when we multiply both sides by 7, if you notice, these 7s will cancel, and that's how you get your x by yourself. So 7 times 3 is 21, and that is correct. Now, of course, you can always go back and check your work, because if x is 21, x is really 21. Go back and check it. That's 21 divided by 7 equal 3. Yes, it does. All right, we're going to do a few more practice problems. We have x minus 7 equals 7. Go ahead and pause and try them on your own if you need to. Here, we're going to add 7 to both sides. The 7's cancel. You have your x alone. 7 plus 7 is 14. Same thing over here. Just please watch your signs. You would hate to miss a problem because of a small mistake. Again, we have plus 10. We're going to subtract 10 from both sides. The 10's cancel. N equals negative 12. Be sure to pay attention to your signs. All right, same thing here. You have your variable on the right. You have minus 3. We're going to add 3 to both sides. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So A equals negative 1. All right, here we have more than one step, but you do the same thing. The first thing I want you to do is always look for that loose number. Always say the number that's not attached to your variable. So over here you have minus 7. You go ahead and move your 7 to the opposite side. Again, we're doing the same thing to both sides of our equation. So negative 7 and positive 7 cancel. So I bring down my 9x. And negative 7 plus 7 is 0. Now I do the same thing. So, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. And I do just that. I divide both sides by 9. And 0 divided by 9 is 0. So x is 0. Again, you can plug it in. 0 minus 7 equals negative 7. You can plug it in to check it. So make sure you do that too. Same thing with this problem. I have my loose number, my number that is all alone. We're going to move that one first. If it's not attached to anything, always move that one first. So I bring down my 2n, my 10's cancel, and negative 2 and negative 10 is negative 12. I divide both sides by 2, and they cancel, and n equals negative 12 divided by positive 2 is negative 6. All right, again, go ahead and pause and give this problem a try. All right, first thing you had to do was subtract this 2 from both sides. It's all alone, it's not with the variable. We're going to move that first. They cancel. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. And then we have v over 4. We're going to bring that down. The same thing, guys. This is v divided by 4. So the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So when I multiply both sides by 4, these 4's cancel. V equals negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. All right, same thing here. I'm going to move the lone number. Subtract 2 from both sides. So now I have 2x over 4 equals 3 minus 2 is 1. Now I have 2x divided by 4. I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. You just take those little step by step to get closer to that variable by itself. All right, 1 times 4 is 4. And now I'm multiplying x, so I need to do the opposite, which is dividing. So I have x equals 4 divided by 2 is 2. I'm going a little faster, but make sure you just pause the video and you try it on your own. That is how you study math. If you try it on your own, you should be able to see what you did wrong and fix it. That is the only way to study math, guys. All right, I'm going to add 10 to both sides here. And if you're allowed to use your calculator, use it to check yourself. You would hate to make a small mistake. All right, negative 6 plus 10 is 4. All right, so I have n divided by 2. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. You see that? Fractions are so easy to get rid of. 2 times 4 is 8. If you multiply by the denominator, it gets rid of that fraction. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to work with that if we don't have to. All right, this problem, I have 6h plus 5h equals negative 11. By now, you guys, you understand like terms, right? If I have 6 h's and 5 h's, altogether I have 11 h's. All right, so now I have 11 times h. So what I'm going to do is divide both sides by 11. Excuse that, y'all. That should be, yeah. Divide both sides. Why am I writing negative 11s? I don't know. But when I divide both sides by positive 11, I get h equals negative 11 divided by positive 11 is negative 1. Same thing here. I have 0 equals, I have negative 5c minus 2c. So I have 2 negatives, same signs, add and keep. So I have negative 7c. And I divide both sides by negative 7 to get that c alone. 0 divided by negative 7 is 0. So c equals 0. All right, we have like terms here. So let's go ahead and rewrite this equation. 8 equals 8x minus 4x is 4x minus 32. Now, all I need to do is, we're still focusing on getting that variable by itself. So let's add 32 to both sides. 8 plus 32 is 40. 4x, and of course they canceled over there, right? We still do the same thing. Divide both sides by 4. Those 4's cancel, so now I have that x by itself. 40 divided by 4 is 10. My YouTube username is Math Junkie, and please like and subscribe, and then you can message me with any lesson you need, and I will add the tutorial to my channel, and I will post it as well. Thanks.